Well, it's no secret COVID-19 has changed our lives, how we live, places we go, and the people we come in contact. Schools are starting to reveal their plans for the new school year, which includes going back to the classroom. In today's CI Health, how to talk to your kids about returning to school in the fall. And joining me live via Zoom, Two Roads Wellness of Champaign and Danville, we have Carrie Offenstein hanging out with us. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm good. So I know a lot of families right now anticipating what's coming this fall with the new announcement being made earlier this week. So let's talk a little bit about how we can prepare our kids for the new normal that they're going to experience come fall.
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that is kind of coming out of research right now being conducted on how kids are handling things and have handled things so far is that a lot of kids are struggling. They're feeling really depressed and things like that. And so anything that a parent can do to help normalize for them what's going on, help normalize their fears of going back to school if they have them, their excitement to go back to school if they have that, to see their friends and things like that. I think that kind of validating your children's feelings goes a really long way right now.
I also think that as a parent, the way you react to this new announcement and all the new regulations and guidelines that are going to be enforced on our kids, I think how we react and the tone we set coming into fall is really going to help them or hurt them. Do you agree?
Heather, absolutely. You're so right. I think that that's one of the things that we forget as parents is that, whether we like it or not, kids do not do what we say, they do what we do. And so if we show that we're panicking or feeling very unstable and not okay about this stuff, then that's the cue they're going to take from us. And so trying to kind of work through and monitor the ways that you talk to them is really helpful so that what you're saying is comforting, reassuring and hopeful instead of kind of you getting out your fears onto them. That's a very good point.
Exactly, because I think we can all agree it stinks. It's not ideal. It's not going to be the best situation. However, if we have a positive attitude and outlook on it, then hopefully that will trickle down onto them as well. Can we talk how COVID-19 has had such an impact on our teens' mental health? I know when we're talking about kids, at least for myself, I'm usually thinking about my tweens and teenager, but those who are like in high school and those seniors, this has really had to have had an effect on their mental health.
Oh, it absolutely has. There have been recent articles that have come out about kind of poll responses and the ways that teens in specific are describing their experiences and how they're feeling right now. And honestly, 7 out of 10 teens who took this recent survey, which there were quite a lot of them, it was, I think, about 1,500 teens, and 7 out of 10 of them said that they're having mental health struggles right now. And that is a marked increase from the surveys and the poll responses that we had before COVID. And honestly, their feelings are really reflecting that of the adult population too. Just like you said, we're all struggling. This is a hard time for everybody, but those teenagers, they missed prom, they missed graduation. There's just a lot of milestones and things that they've been looking forward to for years that got kind of put on delay for them. And so I think those feelings really deserve to have a space. I think that's one of the things that I always really try to bring home to parents is that giving your kids a space to talk about that stuff and really kind of validating and normalizing that they have a right to feel that grief and that anger. It's really kind of about what you do with it.
Oh, absolutely. I also think social media, it can be, hit or miss, right? And they were spending so much time on a device and on an electronic, computer, laptop, whatever, to do schoolwork. Don't you think maybe trying to encourage more family time or less social media screen time would also help in some of these mental health issues?
That it's so tough because you're right. Social media is one of those things that's really kind of a double-edged sword right now, where it kind of, even depending on the user, people have different reactions. And a lot of times it can get very overwhelming. It can be too much information and too much negativity at a time when a lot of us are already feeling that way. And certainly, right now we're seeing numbers that are, up to 9 hours of social media or screen use that kids are engaging in right now. And that is a lot more than they were. I think the one thing that's tricky about social media with kids is that they're having to spend so much screen time doing school now and things like that, that you want to balance it so that they do still have that time, especially to socialize with friends that they haven't been able to see, but really make sure to monitor, is this affecting their mental health? Is it making it worse? And in that case, absolutely.
And that's why we have such a great resource with Two Roads Wellness in Champaign and Danville, where parents can maybe get some tips on helping their teens navigate this whole COVID-19 mess, and be a great resource for those families.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome. There's a look at their website where if you have any questions, start the conversation now. Have a good attitude and a good outlook on it, and that will definitely make all the difference. Carrie, we appreciate you being with us this afternoon.
Sure thing.